Hey Hygienists, welcome back to my channel for another video. I am Kalesha if you are new, and I am a registered dental hygienist. And in today's video, I'll be taking you all through the process of creating custom take-home bleaching trays. So if you haven't already seen the video on my channel about the Philips Zoom in-office whitening, I highly recommend you watch the video. I'll tag it in the cards and link it down below in the description. But I've showed you all the process a couple of times on my channel, but I haven't shown you all the how we take the molds and make custom trays for their take-home bleaching. So that's what I'll be showing you all today. I'm not sure if I'll be doing the actual trays or if I'll just be filming, but just stay tuned to see how those go. I'm also going to show you, how we do it on the patient. I got the okay to film. I'm also going to be showing the setup process about how we take it to the lab and trim it and cut it and actually make the molds into plastic trays that she gets to take home and bleach for the rest of her life, pretty much. So it's going to be a pretty interesting video today. You'll get to see me in the lab doing some behind the scenes work and get to see how things how we do things around here. So be sure to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and stay tuned. Alright, so y'all, I have everything set up that I'm going to need to take the impression trays. So first and foremost, we have alginate, which is the powder material that I'm going to mix with water and it hardens. Also have just some regular room temperature water with the bowl and the mixer that I'm going to mix it with in a second. Also here I have small, medium, and large trays, the upper and the lower, so that I can fit them in and see which one fits her teeth better. I'm just gonna try it in first to see which is the best fit. Go ahead, open wide as you can for me and see which one's the best fit. Look like it may be. We really only care about the very front teeth, really, when bleaching, so I don't really have to put that much back there. So yeah, we'll deal with that when we get there. All right, let's move those out the way. We don't need those. Here I am beginning to make the impression material using the alginate and the water. I am beginning by using 2 scoops of powder and just kind of eyeballing the water to get the consistency I like. We are beginning with the lower tray first, which is unusual because in hygiene school they teach you to do the upper first, but my patient asked that I do the lower to not trigger her gag reflex, just to see how the material would do in her mouth. So in this part, it's really important to go fast as you can because the room temperature water will decrease the setting time and the less likely you'll be to get a very good impression. So here I am just getting a very good consistency with the material, and then I'm going to get a big scoop and use the lower tray to put the impression material in. And with this part, you don't have to be very neat. You just want to get it into the silver part so that when they bite, you'll get a very good impression of their teeth. Once I have the tray filled to my liking, I'm going to go ahead and seat it in the patient's mouth and let it sit for 10 to 20 seconds. And this is the final result. We got every single tooth just how we needed it, and we're going to move on to the upper now. When taking upper impressions, it's better to come from behind the patient, but my patient needed to have her feet on the floor so that she didn't gag while the material was in her mouth. I place the tray toward the back teeth first and then move it forward so that I'm getting every tooth in the impression, and then I'm just giving a slight push to make sure that it has a great suction, and then I'm going to check and make sure her lips aren't stuck, and we're going to let that sit for 10 to 20 seconds. Because this material hardens, it can have a really tight grip on the teeth, so it takes a little force to pull it out of the mouth, but she did very well and we got exactly what we needed without triggering her gag reflex, and this is how both of the impressions looks once we're done. Moving on into the lab, you'll see my office manager Stevie here making the build up for the model. So she's using just some stone material and some water to place into the molds that I made, and it's going to turn pretty much the Play-Doh into a stone model so that we're able to make the bleaching trays. So here she's placing it on this little shaker that vibrates and makes sure that the material that she's placing inside is smooth with no bubbles. And she's going to fill in all of the teeth and also make a buildup, which you'll see in a second, so that we're able to trim the models, which you'll see later on in the video. So y'all, I'm not sure how much of that pour up of the trays process that you got, but it got pretty busy for me. My whitening turned into a cleaning, and so I had to hand the trays off to somebody else. So I'm not sure what that last clip looks like, but right now they are setting up, meaning they have some stone underneath that has to harden, and then we'll be able to trim them up using that, and then we'll be able to make trays. All right, so let's get these trays trimmed. All right, so pretty much looks hardened. Both of them are hardened. So what you want to do is separate the putty and the silver part from the stone. And you kind of want to do it carefully because it'll break off pretty easily. So then it comes out, it has the mold of the teeth in there. Perfect. I'm gonna do the same thing for the top one. Actually want to kind of clean the front teeth up a little bit. This is how they look, top and bottom. Looks just like this if you were to bite them together. And now I have to trim off all of the excess on the bottom to make it more square. See all of these rough edges? I have to trim all of that. This is the trimmer we use to get rid of the rough edges, and you want to be very careful when using this because that is basically a sawing off the material that we no longer need. So you want to keep your fingers away from this, but this is the final product once we get it trimmed up. And now we're going to move on to the upper teeth. So as you can see, I'm getting close as I can without my finger being near it to get the perfect rounded edges and getting rid of all of the material that I don't need. Well, Danny did this one for me, so thank you, Danny. But he drew some dots on all the little teeth so that the bleach can, you know, they can put the bleach in this little spot and it won't spread all over the gums. And then I'm gonna show you how I got this plastic and all of that on it right now. So I'm about to do this model, just how that one is. And these are the bottom teeth. So just gonna draw the reservoir, and you wanna stay away from the gums on this. You don't really have to put bleach all in these back teeth, but you can if you want. All right, and then I'm gonna take the light cure and just cure it. Alright, so now it's hard, it's set on there. So what I'm about to do now, y'all, I'm gonna take this little, this is kind of what we make the whitening trays with, this plastic, really durable plastic though, so it's not easy to tear. So I'm gonna sit this in this little diagram, in this little square, and then lock that down. And this is gonna heat it up using this little switch. This is gonna heat this plastic. It's gonna create a bubble to vacuum down over here. So I'm gonna sit that there and just wait for this part to heat up. But this is how it's gonna look once I vacuum it down, just like this, like I showed you all earlier. And then I'll show you all how I get rid of all of this excess in a second with some scissors. I'm gonna cut this off and they'll be ready to use. So if you wanna zoom in on this a little bit more. So in a second, this heat up here is heating up that plastic in the center of these two here. So it's very hot, you don't wanna really touch that part. And in a second, you'll see a bubble drop down, and then I'm gonna vacuum it down to this here tray. So pretty cool to watch. All right, so we almost got the bubble. I don't know know if y'all can see that real good, but it's going. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the heat. I'm gonna kind of loosen it up, and you're gonna hear a vacuum. And take this off, and there it is. So now I just have to cut around all of this and shape it up so that it fits in the patient's mouth. All right, so I usually just take some scissors and do an overall, just get rid of all this excess plastic, just like this. So now I've gotten rid of that, and this is how it looks. I'm gonna keep cutting around it till I get it, you know, semi-close. And now I just wanna, you know, like I said, this plastic is durable, so I'm just gonna take it off now. Alright, so see how it keeps the shape? And now I'm gonna cut all of these excess off. Alright, so we got it cut, and this is how they look. Alright, so also got the bottom one finished, and I'm gonna ask her if she want to keep her molds. Most patients don't really want to keep them, but if so, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it back on there. So now, as you can see, it's only the ridge. So she'll be able to take this off, rinse it, you know, and put her bleach into those little small compartments that we made. And then when she places it in, it'll just, you know, whiten her teeth for her. So this is the top and the bottom together, just like that. Alright y'all, so today's vlog was a quick one. I just wanted to quickly show you all how we do whitening trays. So I hope you all learned something during the video. I haven't even looked back at my camera to see the kind of clips I got, because the camera has died and I'm filming this on my phone, and I don't know if you can tell by the quality. But if you all enjoyed today's video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss my next uploads. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, Hygienist.